Hey, Da. I know you're not getting these messages, not listening to these messages, but tapping them out still helps me, so... Ugh. Okay. I think we've almost found you, Da. My companions and I, we tracked you to Haven. After some shenanigans, some attrition, some drinking, we learned you've been after something called the Mouth of Flowers or something else equally vague. No idea what it is, what it does, but whatever it is, I'm sure is worth missing an entire year of your son's life. Anyway, some of the other misfit toys in the ruins outside of town showed us the hovel you've been living in. So you can imagine my surprise when I found your hole, and I'm only just now realizing how that sounds. And, your surprisingly professional workshop hidden inside. I think we've almost found you, Da. And that's good, because you've got a lot of explaining to do.
That was unnecessary.
Had to call back to that.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Children of Ash, a real play RPG podcast where we tell stories about the world after the world. I'm Dylan, your storyteller and game master for the evening, and surrounding us is our table of players. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
What's up? All right. Did we have a fact prompt this week?
No, we didn't.
Oh,
and we had an hour to come up with one.
Yeah. Fuck me. Okay, who wants to come up with a fact prompt?
What's your character's first name?
Okay. No. Let's see. Juliet, you got one for us?
Oh, I'm practically dead inside.
That's a fact.
What's your character's favorite food and why? Let's just go there.
Now it's ale.
The 11-year-old's favorite meal is ale?
It is now.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Care to elaborate?
Well, I figure we're talking like medieval ale where it's like 1 or 2% and it's basically drinking a loaf of bread. But
all right. You want to introduce your character?
My name's Jesse. I play Wayland. He is your run-of-the-mill, average 11-year-old boy genius adventurer. And his favorite food up until recently was probably whatever the medieval equivalent of chicken tenders and french fries was. But now, after his sordid adventures in Haven, he's growing a taste for a good grog. Yeah.
God, what have I done?
I think you know exactly what you've done, Valentine.
You've made an alcoholic 11-year-old. I'm so canceled.
Hi, I'm Juliet, and I play Aster Morestes, a well-heeled, fastidiously groomed Arches native and devotee of the totally legitimate and not at all culty House Dianthus, an order of light, arts, and beauty. Aster is a lover of mushrooms of all kinds.
Oh? Do we get an explanation there?
No,
And when you say all kinds, do you mean like all kinds?
Even the deadly ones.
yes, of course.
Well, this show is now officially promoting children drinking and people doing shrooms in a cult. So
I'm not sorry.
This was the natural
No.
progression of our characters.
It makes sense. We are working hard to have a positive impact on society, and I think we know where to start.
Yeah. We never said which part of society we're trying to positively impact.
All right, Peter.
Hi, my name's Peter. I'm playing Davidson, a fighter from the north, and his favorite food is one would think it would be lamb, but there's a species of like mountain goat up in the north that they can. It's as if they walk on air, and it's very hard to hunt them, but they have the best chops, and Davith misses those dearly. Lamb comes pretty close though, so and he jumps at lamb anytime he gets.
Yeah, gotta get that mountain goat.
Oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Valentine. I play Rez. Rez is a student of the university who does his best to hide the fact that he's a bit of a dweeb behind a good dose of affected swashbuckling. His favorite food is a kind of stew called baste, which is that's a thing that you do. That's a verb. His favorite food is a kind of stew called baast, and it's made on yoke boats, and each family's recipe is a little bit different. And he loves trying different families' version of the stew, and like they all taste like home, but they're all slightly different.
Sounds good. Do you have a spelling for that stew name? I'm going to write it down.
Is it spelled like the Egyptian goddess?
It sounds like I said BA''ST or BA''AST, Baast.
Okay.
But if that's difficult for you to say, we can workshop that. That just kind of came out of my mouth.
I can say Baast. Just wanted to, make sure that I was recording this addition to the lore properly. All right. Yeah. I am Dylan, your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, and my favorite food is tacos. To the point where almost everybody in my family has stopped asking me what I want to have for dinner, because unlike my wife, I understand that tacos are not a sometimes food.
Hard shell or soft shell?
It depends. When I'm making them at home, I'm a hard shell guy, because otherwise it just gets too messy. And also, for some reason, I like that crunch. When I'm going out somewhere that actually makes tacos that aren't, upstate New York's weird excuse for Mexican food. Yes, that's where I learned how to make tacos. Stop making that face, Jesse. Like when I go somewhere that knows how to actually make tacos, it's soft shell all the way.
And let's say you're at a relatively either fancy or well reputed place. What's the filling that you're most excited to see on a menu because you can't do it justice yourself?
Either birria or al pastor. A good al pastor is phenomenal.
Good answer.
but
Excellent.
there's a taco stand nearby that definitely sustained me while I was preparing my house to be moved into.
Mm-hmm.
Peter's nodding. He knows exactly
Yeah.
the one.
That one we went to is really good.
Yeah. Cool. Before we get started, just want to give a shout out to any patrons that we may have now. You can hear at this point, we have big improvements to both the sound quality of Peter as well as the sound quality of Valentine. They both got new microphones, and it no longer sounds like they are speaking to you from the other end of a basketball court. So, yay!
Hooray!
We love this.
That's oddly specific.
Well, I mean, I can get specific. I can get more specific. Maybe the basketball court is mostly empty, but there's, about 6 people out in the courts or out in the bleachers waiting for their friends to get done or their parents to pick them up outside. I don't know. Okay, never mind. We're just going to stop. All right. So to recap from last session, you, upon direction of the Hunter's Lodge, went and ventured over to the ruined meadow, a space outside the palisade wall but within the arcane wall of Haven that serves as, it's where all of the broken people go in Haven. When you have run out of money searching for artifacts, when you perhaps owe a debt too great to pay, when you can't make it home, when you can't leave, when you're stuck, you end up in this meadow just outside the palisade wall, filled with ruins of what used to be a village. You, within this space, came upon one Albertus Branca, a scholar from Arches who was down on his luck and had heard of Waylon's father, Bazel. After telling you that you might perhaps not quite recognize the man who left you a year ago, he brought you over to the hovel that he said Bazel had been hiding in. You explored this space and, a little heartbroken, tried to contact him through your, what is the phrase he used? Walkie-talkie?
Rocky-talkie.
Rocky-talkies. Yes.
Yeah.
And as you tapped away a message to your father, you heard it under the bed. Pulled it aside and found a not quite as destitute and terrible looking little workshop down there. I believe that's where we left you.
Yeah, I think Albertus had gone like, I'm gonna get out of here, and left us.
Yeah. It is June 12th, 243. It's mid to late afternoon. And you are down in the dark workshop of Bazel Throw.
Oh, so if I remember correctly, Willian had used the light spell on a rock, shined it down there, saw everything, looked back to everybody and said, "So who wants to check out my dad's hole?" And
Yes, on that note,
the words come out of his mouth. He has a moment of realizing how that sounds, and decides to just roll with it. Yeah, so I should probably go down. Never mind. And just starts to climb through the entrance. If anybody else wants to come in here, that'd be cool.
Wordlessly, Rez slips in behind him.
Davith as well. Well, I don't know if slips, but he shuffles his way in as well.
Can't be worse than up here.
That is true.
Can't it?
And I look back at Mr. Pushka and just like, why don't you stay there, buddy? I think it's kind of crowded as it is. And then I start waving my light around to see whatever I can see.
You can hear Pushka turn back and forth, and then there's a bit of a thump as he sits down on the ground that you realize a little trepidatiously is the roof right now. But after a moment, everything's still holding up. With the light from your lit up talkie-rocky,
Rocky-talkie.
Rocky-talkie. I'm sorry. Yeah, Rocky-talkie. Rocky-talkie. Yeah, so from the light of your lit up Rocky-talkie, you can see there are not planks of wood, but branches that have been shaved off and propped up as beams, holding the top of this little hole together, supporting the weight of the hovel above. Off in the corner, there is a cot. It's not a fancy cot. It's not a nice cot. It's nothing like what you know your father came from at home. But it is quite a few steps above the, frankly, almost rotting leathers that were on the cot above. It is a place that you still have trouble picturing your father sleeping in, but this now seems maybe doable. The opposite side, off to the right, there is a small, cobbled together desk. Looks like perhaps someone had thrown it away and was repaired. There's a branch nailed to one side of it, propping up where a leg has fallen off. On it is a ink file and pen, some parchment, a couple of notebooks stacked off in the corner. There are shelves lining the walls with all sorts of knickknacks on them, various alchemical supplies, miscellaneous things that you frankly don't recognize. This doesn't look at all like the work you're used to seeing your father doing, but you do nonetheless recognize a level of the same meticulous care given to how a space is organized, and you can recognize some of his handwriting and bits of the parchment on the desk.
So I would definitely walk over to the desk first and have this moment of looking at it and recognizing that layout, recognizing, things I didn't know I remembered, like how the distance that Bazel, that my father, would put his pen away from where he's writing, and little things are just like his arm's reach and where he just naturally puts things. And I would check out the papers and whatever else is on the desktop.
These appear to be a mixture of things. These are journals, first of all. These are his work journals. Flipping through them, there is a mixture of contemplation on artifacts, how things work, things you're used to seeing. There is almost treasure hunting notes of, I heard from so-and-so that they saw X, Y, and Z over in this direction. That must mean that perhaps we have to go over here. There's those sorts of things. There are also notes to people back home. You see him writing in a more traditional journalistic style, addressing people. You see sketches of plant life, of bit of wall. You see a repeating motif of brambles in the corners, on the edges and the margins. Is there anything in particular you're looking for, or you want to stop and read, or?
First, he would read the notes back to people in Arches, and specifically, guiltily hoping that at least one of them is made out to him.
You see notes, a few short pages every now and then, written to his father, your grandfather. Long lines of, "Father, I know you don't have faith in me. I promise I have found evidence of something that will far surpass anything my brothers have stolen and presented as their own work." You find lots of references to just lots and lots of complaints to his father about his brothers being scoundrels, being thieves. There are a few notes about an artifact that he found, that he worked on, that he repaired, that was then stolen out of his workshop. Little complaints, but also bragging about things that he would do, he could bring back, and he would present. And those kind of fade away a bit. There are a couple to you. "My son, I know I've been away. I can't bring myself to reply to your messages anymore. I promise you'll understand soon. But I can't have any distractions on the thing that is to come." Then there are the entries to Katie, Catherine Thrupp, your mother. And they start okay. They start, "I'm sorry, my love, I'm doing my best to take care of our son. I have had to leave him in the care of my father, who I trust to be fair, if tough. But I must do this to make sure that I can take care of him later." And then they slowly devolve into, "Katie, I've been listening. I promise I can do this. I can bring you back." And then there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't seem to make any sense. Some of his writings devolve into half sentences that then start becoming drawings of brambles.
So I kind of look back at everybody, just holding the sheaf of notes, and let's go. So big surprise. My dad might be crazy. He's writing a lot of letters to my mom, who's very, very dead. And maybe saying something about bring her back to life. Okay. And I just kind of realized that I've made everybody else just kind of stand there while I read through a bunch of notes and just go, make yourselves at home, check anything else out you want. And I put over at the alchemy shop, like, I got no idea what any of that stuff is. That ain't my forte. Wasn't my dad's forte either. We're much more, hammer and chisel sort of, gears and electronics sort of fellas. So I'm gonna keep going through this, but feel free to explore my dad's house.
Is there anything in those notes about where he might be looking?
I take the first,
where he might be working.
The first few sheaths of it that were about the treasure hunting aspect, and go, here, and I hand those over to Rez.
See if they make any sense to me with my local knowledge.
There are notes in that of There's comments on... Well, there's a bunch of different directions that the treasure hunting notes go. Some of them lead over to the new refinery, or new to you, I suppose. It seems that they were here when he got here, or at least when he started writing about them. There are some notes that push out towards the river, upriver, by the bank, things that had been uncovered that maybe were the Mouth of Flowers, maybe indicated that it was nearby or perhaps had come down. Someone said that they'd seen something that correlated to something that he had heard from someone else and pursuing. And then there's the Mestiselva, the old wood. And that seems to be where he has most lately been looking. Something about... Well, really, he doesn't say this in as many words. You're piecing things together from bits of map, bits of, little notes written in margins, and in this case, drawings of trees over the stone wall that is the lower 2 feet, the arcane wall.
Quickly, what do notes indicating treasure at a foundry look like? What does that indicate?
So the conversation around that...
Seems like an odd place for arcane treasure is what I mean, and I want to know what his thought process was, such as I can surmise.
He heard a rumor that some of the foundry was melting down things that were found. Not all of the ore was being purchased from upriver, and that some of these objects, they had been discarded, deemed without value, but he'd heard descriptions of some of them that seemed to catch his eye, and he was interested.
Sifting through trash.
Perhaps.
How recent is the most recent of these notes?
I pull out the ones about the forest. These are the old woods beyond the wall, the edge of town. I know where this is. I can take us there. But I can't be sure what exactly he was looking for. It's a big area, but not so big as would occupy a person for a full year.
Well, my father gets obsessive about things even when he's not going crazy.
Suppose we'll find out when we ask him. We don't need to figure it out on our own.
Yeah. I pull out the other notes, he keeps drawing these brambles, these knots and knots of brambles. And I mean, obviously, this is pure speculation here, but Mouth of Flowers, brambles, I think we should keep our eyes open for some sort of motif like that. And as I'm talking, I'm looking over the rest of the desk if there's any drawers or anything in there, and heading for those.
The brambles, do they look either like any plants I've ever seen in the area before? Do they look distinctly like no plants I've ever seen before? Or do they look like they could be some kind of hidden script?
Give me a investigation roll, both of you. Valentine, to figure out exactly that, and Jesse, because you were asking about finding more stuff around the workshop.
Okay.
The whole place to Davið just looks super messy. It's just paper. Means nothing to him. But
11.
And 22.
Rez, you first. It's hard to tell, honestly. You get the impression that he's not really the greatest artist, so it's hard to tell whether this is just doodlings, or whether it is of a specific thing, or whether there's supposed to be a pattern behind it, or not. You're just not sure. Waylon, you, looking around, there aren't really any drawers in this, but as you look around, there is more stuff in this room that you had just kind of written off as stuff. As you kind of sift through things, you do start noticing off in the corners where the wall meets the floor, there are little bits of discarded, perhaps, bits of berry, like a blackberry.
Like berries strewn around the edge?
More like tossed into a corner. But you see that, and then you look back at some of the alchemy stuff. You start looking, and you notice that there's a couple of these do have what could be bits of blackberry in them.
Go over and check out the bottles and see if this says anything on the bottles.
They are unmarked.
Can I go look and do an Arcana check and see if I recognize any of what he's trying to do there?
Sure. Give me a roll.
18.
Okay. With an 18, how good of a student were you generally? Did you...
I would say Aster was was a very good student.
Okay. Yeah, so looking at this, kind of noticing what Wayland is seeing and taking a closer look at everything, what you're seeing looks, frankly, a little bit less like old world technology than herbalism or food preparation, or this looks to you a little bit more like maybe a tincture, or trying to pull some attribute away from the berries into a format that is maybe drinkable, maybe used as a salve, but being able to turn it into a liquid for some other use.
Can I smell it?
You want to open it?
Yes.
Pop the cork off. Take a sniff. It's very bitter. Oddly bitter. Like, almost... Yeah, it's almost got an acrid smell.
I'm going to hold it up. If there are any... Are there, like, visible berries in this jar?
I would imagine that, yeah, based upon the conversation, I was picturing you picking up one of the ones that has, like, little bits. It's not berries. It's, like, little bits of berry. Like, if you take a blackberry and it's got, like, all those little... Yeah, segments. Yeah, it's got little segments in it. To be clear, nobody has actually seen a full blackberry. Just berries that look like parts of blackberries.
So, like, the pips that would be inside of a blackberry?
Yeah, or like, blackberry that had been pulled apart and there's just a little piece of it.
Alright, so my dad's becoming a witch. Alright, cool. Waylon wanders over to the alchemy shelf, too, and is just kind of looking for anything there. Ugh.
Davið also just kind of like scanning the area. I mean...
Yeah, actually, look over at Davið. Do you have any experience with... I don't want to sound insulting here.
Frontier medicine.
Yes! Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Oh.
Frontier medicine.
I might know a thing or two, You're out there in the wilds and you gotta wrap it up.
Does any of this stuff look vaguely familiar?
Sorry, just gotta, out in the wilds, gotta wrap it up before slipping into your dad's hole.
No. Okay.
Look, it's been a long day, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so what kind of things would you be looking for, Davið?
I mean, yeah, basically, like, based off of his ask, anything there that I could, that looks like is, commonly used in, like, maybe a frontier or like a, I'm about to huff it out into the wilds type of like kit, like little medical kit or something. Any one of those like items.
Okay. Give me I'm going to say investigation roll here. Specifically trying to track down a potential use, see if it matches a pattern that you know of.
That's a 14.
Okay. So with the 14, looking at this stuff, you're not able to figure out what it's used for, but what you are able to tell is a little bit of what it's not used for. Looking at it all from the perspective of, field medicine and frontier alternative medicine practices, looking through it, there's stuff that you would expect to see if it was some sort of medicine. You would expect to see an application system of some sort. You would expect to see, like, perhaps some way of bandaging and holding it to a wound, or you would expect to see, there's nothing else that you can see with regards to how to apply it. So if it's a medicine, the only form that you know of to apply it is just straight
Suppository.
drinking it.
Oh.
Okay, sorry, we are rewriting this entire episode. Your dad's workshop is filled with suppositories.
Oh man,
Sorry. I stepped on your appropriately dramatic
this is
wrap
getting
up there.
great. Yeah.
We started so mature with this podcast, and look where we've ended up.
Suppositories in your dad's hole.
Oh, it was inevitable. Yep. Okay.
So looking back at Wayland, there's like so I don't know. I mean, maybe you could drink some of this, but I don't really see anything.
Are there any notes pertaining to, like, is there a notebook next to his little alchemy desk? Is there anything that obviously pertains to the work he's been doing there?
And I go, yeah, and I grab like the third bit of notes we haven't gone over yet. Like, he's got all of this stuff on plant life, and I can like flop it in front of him, in front of Rez.
Have I heard of anything, like any kind of thinking about why he would be making this? I'm like, what is he trying to achieve? Is he ill and trying to make himself better, or is he trying to protect himself? Are there maladies that we might know of as characters in this world that come from exploring the wilds?
I'm going to ask you just real quick, Rez. How much time have you spent in Haven outside of the Arcane Wall?
Quite a bit. Me and
Quite
my
a
brother
bit.
used to sneak out there all the time knowing we'd get in trouble, but it was where the real adventure was.
So, with that in mind, trying to pair the work with the treasure hunting with the berries, there is one thing that comes to mind. There isn't, as far as you know, there isn't really any use for them, but you do know that there is some kind of blackberry bushes, brambles, that grow beyond the wall in the Mestiselva.
Rez kind of looks pensive for a minute. You know, I don't know what any of this is for, but I think I might know where these might grow. Me and my brother used to play outside of the wall when we were kids, not too far out, but out. And there were places we couldn't go because they were overgrown with these bushes. Or what might be these bushes. They grew berries of that color. I could take us there, but I don't know why he'd be there.
Do you guys ever eat those berries, or is eating stuff outside of the walls kind of like taboo?
You know, we left that for braver souls than ours. Mom always made dinner.
Okay. I'm starting to think that these, I'm going to call them tinctures that Dad's put together, maybe they're not as woo-woo as I was initially thinking. Maybe they do have a mechanical use. Like Davið, you said that they clearly aren't medicinal.
Yeah, not that I could
No.
see.
Okay. It seems like maybe these are for some sort of organic machine. I don't know. But it wouldn't hurt to take them with us. And I grabbed the ones that look like they have blackberry bits, and I put them in the little leather pouch that I have for my infusions, and just kind of try to slot them in there. Like,
Not a bad
hey,
idea.
They're my dad's.
How many are you taking?
How many are there?
So
Or are they all the same thing?
they aren't all the same thing. There's kind of different variations, but they do all, well, a lot of them do seem to be somehow berry based. Some that are just have like pulpy, like crushed pulpiness in them. Some of them that look to be a similar color, but you don't see any pieces. There's some that have whole segments in them.
Are they numbered?
I go by dust. I go by which ones have the least amount of dust on them, and those are probably the most recent or most successful versions of what he's made.
God damn, that's clever. Oof.
Nice.
Give me a perception check. See if you can how well you can identify which ones have dust on them.
Okay.
And with advantage, because that was a really, really good call.
17.
Okay. With a 17, you pick through them, tilting them down a bit, examining the glass. The glass is not the cleanest glass on its own, so this isn't really an easy thing to do. There's dirt on the sides of them. There's what look like might be just like lots of old fingerprints. There's all kinds of stuff. But with a 17, you somewhat confidently pull down 2, let's say, that look to have the least amount of dust on them. These are 2 of the ones with individual but whole segments in them.
So I think... Do you remember the soda from the 90s, Dots?
Oh my god.
Orbits or Dots or like that?
Yeah, Orbits.
Yeah.
Orbits.
Yeah.
Orbits.
I'm just imagining like a bottle of Orbits with like one little like blackberry piece in there.
So I don't want to get too hung up on it, but the notes, do they say anything about like success or the use of these things, or is it just straightforwardly ingredients and like proportions and methods?
The notes on the work specifically is what you're looking at?
Yeah. They were handed to me by Wayland.
The notes on the work, first glance, they appear to be ingredients. They appear to be drawings of the bottles, drawings of little... God, what's it called when you're heating them up? Those contraptions. The more you look...
Lembics.
I have to admit, I don't know what the word lambics means.
Alembic.
Lembic? Okay.
Alembic.
Sure.
A-L-E-M, whatever, doesn't matter.
Alembic. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying limbic, like L-I-M-B-I-C. I'm
No.
like, sure. But old versions, like, you might find in a fantasy world.
Alembics are very old, actually.
Okay, cool. Anyway, little sketches of stuff like that. But the more you look at these notes,
Dropped one in the chat.
the more you read what's actually being said about all of this, and the more you start questioning what the value of these notes is, because they don't read like what you imagine laboratory notes should read like. It isn't, I tried X, Y, and Z, and I was seeking this, and I ended up with that. I have this theory that if I changed this, like, it's none of that. Instead, it seems to be written like a conversation. Like he's speaking to someone, and you aren't seeing the answer.
All right.
That's somewhat disconcerting.
Talk about hearing, they talk about success and failure, but not necessarily specifying what that looks like. There is talk about a timeline, needing to have things done, ready, prepared by the solstice.
Damn solstice.
Solstice again.
Alright, so I'm not sure if this is in character or out of character. So the solstice is going to be a zombie bash, is the impression that I'm getting from this. You know, Bazel's talking about bringing back Waylon's mom, and the that college that totally run a bunch of necromancers are doing some creepy shit back in Arches. Like, all right, okay. So Waylon's like, unless anybody else has got a better idea, I say we check out the old woods at this point.
I got nothing unless we can find some way to find Derek. I wish we had him right now.
All right.
Yeah, head out to the woods.
Cool. I grab all the notes. I'm not leaving them there at this point. I'm thinking, as much as I want to like Albertus, he did see this, so I'm taking all the notes and I'm just stuffing them in my backpack. And on our way out, I want to take a identifiable scrap of leather from the bed and put it underneath as we lay the mattress back down. Like the old hair in a door frame trick. If we come back and see if someone's got into the room.
All right. So you're backing up out into the ruined meadow?
Yep. And I just kind of look at Rez like, lead the way.
All right, let's go.
I will say this. As you exit your dad's hole, he said it first.
Yeah, no, I did.
One thing you do realize is that you've been down there for a while. The time that it has taken for you to examine the space, to read through the notes, to explore, the sun is beginning to set.
So, Rez, how dangerous is it to go out at night? Or does it make more sense just to wait here in case he actually comes back to sleep?
Logical.
I would have never been caught out in the wilds at night. In truth, we shouldn't even be out there during the day, but, we are adventurers.
I mean, he probably won't come back. They say he doesn't often come back here. But...
You must be very careful. You're going to sleep at night out in the wilds.
I don't think we do much sleeping out in the wilds. I mean, then I hate to just waste time. Should we go to the refinery instead? And then try the wilds?
We could try and gather some information, certainly. It seemed like he was just, I don't know, maybe hoping that somebody gathered something that he could find useful or clue as a piece of trash. Seems like they're melting things down from the ruins. Which,
okay.
If I know my father, he was probably already looking through that trash for anything of potential value.
Yeah. And Waylon kind of stops and goes, all this time I've been thinking just about my dad. And looking out at the rest of the ruins and everybody on them. But I'm fooling around with an idea that might actually help everybody else here. It kind of depends on how this thing shakes out with my father, but there might be a way to get all these people out from under your dad's thumb and, I don't know, make a profit out of it, too, for everybody. It's a nascent idea. But yeah, forget I said anything. I'm still just, I'm fooling around with the idea. But that's not what we're talking about right now. And when takes a couple steps away from everybody, turns around to face them all. So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to go into the woods at night? Or do you want to go check out a factory?
How much daylight do we have left?
The sun is setting. You can see, looking around, it does appear that Most of the folks around are kind of beginning to gather around little campfires or finding campfires of their own in or around their hovels. It's beginning to be just the end of the day.
And how far, to my knowledge, how far outside of the woods are these patches? Outside of the walls are these patches. The ones I know about, anyway.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to make you roll for that. I guess give me a survival roll. Just kind of see how well you were able to figure out where you were, identify things, all that other good stuff.
11.
11. With an 11, it's hard to say. You're not really sure. You and your brother would go out and you would occasionally encounter these berry patches. But usually when you'd been meandering a bit and kind of exploring new spaces and you weren't really entirely sure where you were, you often found your way back without any trouble. So you couldn't have been that far, but it's hard to say.
I look at the gang. All right, I don't know what we're going to find out there. I don't see any reason we need to go tonight instead of waiting for tomorrow morning.
The safest thing.
Oh, hurry.
Yeah, the safest thing for us would be to wait out the night.
We have a room. I have some things I could use in town anyway.
All right. Waylon kind of nods his head like, okay. And then goes, so stupid. Runs back into the hovel, moves the mattress, goes back into or grabs his dad's walkie-talkie, runs over to the desk, grabs a piece of paper, and then in like their tapping code writes out, "Pick up your fucking rock." Waylon puts the rock on top of it, runs back out, puts the mattress back down, puts the piece of leather in there, and runs back out. Okay, so if he does come back, he will probably contact me. And then I guess we head back to town.
Yeah. I have a couple things I'd like to grab at the general store if they have them. I don't know how well supplied they are in terms of equipment.
Before we make it out of the ruins, if I'm not going to go out of my way, but if we see Albertus, I would want to go up to him.
Give me a perception check, see if you spot him.
That's 4. That's a 10. It's getting dark.
Yeah, with the 10, it's hard to say. You do venture past the hovel that you first saw him around. You don't really see any movement therein, but there's a little fire that's been set a bit of a distance away, and there's maybe 5-6 folks standing around it. You can't see them, you just see kind of dark outlines.
Yeah, I was just gonna go up and try to grease the wheels a little bit and like thank him for, helping us out, and maybe slip him a gold piece just to try to keep him from getting any other ideas. But not wanting to draw any more attention to ourselves, probably wouldn't go up to a group of strangers just in case he wasn't there. So just kind of, all right, give up on that idea. Waylon's ready to leave.
Okay. What were you hoping to find at the general store?
My shopping list includes some throwing darts, and as in the weapon, and studded armor if they have it and I can afford it. Better AC than what I have now. And Rez is tired of being hurt.
There is not studded leather, though they do make a pass at trying to sell you on rather finely stitched, just plain leather garment. It's
equivalent to what I'm already wearing, I assume.
What you're wearing, though, is nothing like this. This is premium leather. It is sewn by our friends up north. You can see there's bits of fur lining all of the edges, keep you very warm.
Oh, those are the special mountain goats.
What are the special mountain goats named, Peter?
Goturin? I don't know. Yeah, Goturin.
Okay. Yes, it's very fine Goterin fur all around the collar. It's a beautiful piece. It's nothing like what you're wearing.
What you're wearing?
I assure you, you would find this to be a fine and handy upgrade over that. And he just gestures at.
Point of order, he can't see my armor under my outer garment.
Well, then he's gesturing at your outer garments, which.
Rude.
Look, that's what you're wearing, I'm sure, has served you well, but this will keep you warm and protect you, unlike whatever that is.
I'll give it some thought.
You do that.
But darts.
I'm good.
Darts, let's see, where do I have darts down here? This is the first time I've ever had somebody ask me for things since I put together this list, so I'm like, where are all the things I'm looking for on my list? I'm oddly not seeing darts. That's not cool. Okay, I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna say he doesn't have it.
That's fair. To bed with me, then.
Just to paint a picture of what the general store looks like a little bit more. It is one big open space on the first floor of the boarding house, kind of on the opposite side of, or not opposite side of the building, but the opposite side of the center of the building as the tavern. You can kind of hear off in the distance a little bit people carousing after a long day on the other side of the building. The clerk is in the center, a bit of a big burly man, not burly like filled with muscles, but just this big man, arms that probably like the size of your face, but also not in a fat way. He's just big, bushy white beard pulled into a braid or two, bald. This room, though, is, the more you look at it, the more you realize this is where they outfit the prospectors. There's a row of shovels, of torches and lanterns, paper and ink, bookshelf in one corner, or stand, I guess, that has a number of books on it that appear to be about local lore, and there's a book that is a proposed history of Haven before it was Haven. There is another that all you see is just titled Irvan Orr, Our Hero. Then there's cloaks, ropes, there's all kinds of stuff. But all in, for the most part, fairly neatly defined rows. There is very few things that there's only one of. That fancy leather coat being one of the things that appears to be only one of. He's clearly been trying to sell it for a while.
Have my own fancy leather coat.
Do they have jerky? The equivalent of rations? Because if we're going to go out into the wilderness, even we don't know how long we're going to be out there.
Yes, of course I can sell you some rations. How much are you looking for?
I look around at how many days worth? Is 3 days worth is a good idea? Just in case? Alright, then 3 days worth for 1, 2, 3, 4, and I almost stop and look at Pushka and go, 5? For 5 of us absolutely true human beings who are all standing in front of you. Yeah.
He gives you a bit of a quizzical look.
I'm very specific. 15 rations.
Okay, 3 days for 5 people. Let's see. Yes, we can. There's a little bit of math in his head that is absolutely not me opening a calculator because for some reason basic math is beyond me. We say 12 gold?
Waylon has this moment of like feeling like a city boy being fleeced by the rubes, and just reaches into his little purse and goes, "Oh, man, inflation, am I right?" He just plops down the 12 gold.
I mean, if you prefer, you don't have to pay in gold.
Not in this economy.
You can always
Open a line of credit? No, we're okay.
You sure? It's
Yes.
You never know.
We won't be doing that.
You never know what you might find with just a little bit more preparation. Fine, fair enough. He throws his hands up and swipes the gold off the counter and backs away. And as he does this, as you turn to go, you do find some darts. Yeah, they are over by the entrance. They are 5 copper apiece.
Great.
Wait, darts are 5 copper, but jerky is like 12 gold?
It's an entire day's worth of jerky.
That
And it's 12 gold for 15.
Waylon just kind of looks at Rez like, all right, you're the local. Did I just get royally screwed?
Yeah, you did.
No more than everyone else.
Doesn't make me feel any better. This is emergency backup food. This is, in case you can't take down an ibex or something when we're out there.
Next to the red light district in Arches, this is the place most people go to get screwed.
DM's note. I do love that Wayland, the child who has never been outside the city, is the only one who hasn't been outside the city is the one that keeps doing all of the deals.
Here's the money.
It's so amusing.
Yeah. He's got the bag.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, are you just reaching into this random big chest of gold?
No, that was actually the last 12 they had in that purse. I hadn't, refilled up the purse since then. I think there's 1 gold left. It would have been 13.
Yeah.
So there's 1 stinking sad little piece of gold.
All right.
But when he sees that Rez needs the darts and that they cost less than 1 gold, he breathes a sigh of relief and goes, it's a business expense.
I have the money for that. I'm not going to quibble over.
How many are you buying?
Like, no, this is like legit business expense. I can write this off. And
For a copper each, I'm taking a dozen.
there we go.
It's not a copper each. It was, I think it was like 3 or 5. Let me see. I have it written down.
3 or 5
It
for
was
copper?
5 copper each.
That is something. Oh, 5 copper each. Okay.
Yeah, I'll still I'll take 10.
All right.
There we go. And I definitely wait to get my change back from this bastard.
All right.
Take my 5 silvers or whatever it is at this point. Oh. And I look around at anybody else like, does anybody else need anything?
I'm good, thanks.
All right. Okay.
Rez, I presume you're doing all of this, by the way, under your Ren guys, yes?
Well, I am no longer disguised. So if they recognize me, they recognize me, but I haven't been there in a minute. I'm not announcing myself as Rez.
Well, I'm just asking because the general store is in the boarding house. Like, that whole main complex is where you are right now.
Yeah.
So would you have...
Yeah, then they'll...
Okay.
I'm not using the disguise spell, but I'll be going by that name.
Okay. Cool. Good to know. All right. Aster, Davið, is there anything you guys are up to?
Aster is browsing.
And I'm not gonna get ripped off, like whether so because I could just live off the land and, been there, done that.
What is Aster browsing?
Aster is browsing at the store. Would have gone to the store with Rez, looking at things, judging things, feeling excited at the prospect of buying something and then disappointed that nothing that is there really feels nice enough for them to justify buying.
It do be like that.
Well, if there's nothing else to be done in this general store, what are you doing? Are you just going up to your room? Are you going to go carouse? Are you going to go off for a evening tryst? What's of interest to the party?
I mean, unless we can find out some more information somewhere, I'd say we can, put in for the night for a long rest or something, and then head out in the morning.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna suggest to Wayland that he keep all the information that we found, bottles even maybe, in that chest that Mr. Pushka has hauling around with him. Because information here is very valuable.
Yeah, Waylon would. But first, he would probably get a meal in the common room, and then go back up to the room and do exactly that. Yeah, that's he thanks Rez for the suggestion, puts the important documents in the chest, takes out 25 gold to put into his purse, and then takes 5 of that gold out and puts it in his shoe. Just because he's starting to trust these people less and less these days.
Smart kid.
And
Smart, yeah.
locks it all back up again.
All right. Well then, all going to bed. Anybody staying up? No. All right.
Not. Did the doors lock?
I think they would lock. You are in the paid section of
think I'll-
town.
Then I'll have a nap.
All right. Is it 2 rooms? Is it 4 rooms? How many rooms did we end up in? Remember?
2?
I think
I know
Okay.
Aster said that-
Aster has her own, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's Aster and then our boys.
I think it had been Aster and Derek had 1 room.
Right. Yes, that's how it was. Okay. So you all head up to your rooms, bed down for the night, curl up. You can see through the window bits of streetlight reflecting off of the harbor. As you all drift off to sleep, Wayland, Rez, and Davід, can I get a perception check?
Hate when you say my name. 19.
That's an 8 for me.
I'm actually realizing that was incorrect because I was reading my passive like a big dum-dum. So what I actually got is a 9.
17.
Thank God.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. 21. Sorry, forgot to add my.
Davід, some point, middle of the night, not sure what time it is. The moon is out of view of the window. You wake up to tapping.
What? What is that?
Coming from Wayland's pack.
Pack? What? I get out of bed and I stand there just for a second, just kind of listen again. Still hear it, I assume. And I'm not going crazy. I'm trying to think to myself. I'm like, what do I really hear? Is maybe it's bouncing off and echoing, and kind of turning my head around, and it's no, still coming from the pack. So I kind of don't want to wake anybody up. I kind of very tiptoe over there very lightly, and it's inside the pack, right?
Yeah, inside the pack. And after a moment, it stops.
Right as I kind of tiptoe up to it.
I would say maybe is around the time that you kind of reach the pack.
Okay. I think I decide that maybe it was where is the pack? Is it on a chair? Is it on the floor?
You tell me. Where would you have left your pack, Wayland?
Next to the bed would whatever be most convenient. So if it's a chair, or I don't imagine this place has like bureaus, so I'm guessing it's probably on like a chair or bench next to the bed.
Okay, so at that point, if the sound disappears as I kind of walk up to it, and it's like late, I just kind of woke up. It's on a bench. I kind of, in my mind, I just kind of chalk it up to like, must have been the bench just kind of like, just barely creaking, like it's, like it needs something under a foot, and it's just on that, like just teeter-tottering, like just, and so I was like, okay. But then, I definitely heard something in there. I'd like to open his pack.
Was he not in the room for any of the conversation of the Rocky Talkie?
No, he was.
I was.
Okay.
Wayland, what does Davід find as he fishes around?
Well, it's a booby
the pack?
trap. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that would be totally like Wayland, honestly.
It would, but I never set that up, so I can't like that. It's an ink trap. No,
Roll
it's-
18 d12 damage, Davід.
Oh god.
The whole floor explodes. The Rocky Talkie would probably be nestled into a nice little leather pouch or pocket that's just the right size for it. You'd be looking down at a bunch of like little brass-capped infusions and a few of the vials that we picked up, but it would just a top-down view of like side of a notebook, a few infusions, a couple of the knickknacks and bobs, and then kind of like if you had a pocket, a little leather pocket for like a pocket watch, it would be like in something like that.
Okay. So yeah, I open the pack, see the little leather pouch that, because now like the grogginess is kind of fading away, and I'm starting to realize like, oh right, that was the Rocky Talkie. So I pull it out and walk over to your bed and kind of tap you on the shoulder. I'm like, Wayland.
Waylon wakes up flailing.
Hey, your little rock thing was tapping, and I dangled a little bag.
It takes him a second, like he's coming out of whatever weird dream he was in.
I'm like leaning over him too.
Yeah, there's a massive Viking leaning over him that he has to remember he actually knows, and like none of this is congruent with the way that he imagines waking up. And he goes, "Okay, thank you." Grabs it and then has a embarrassingly long moment of going, "Why am I holding this? This is my Rocky Talkie," and immediately like, grabs it and it can't even remember how to tap back initially, and then like has like take a deep breath, and then just taps back the Rocky Talkie equivalent of "Are you there?" copy, just the real basic identifying tap 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 kind of thing, and waits.
Almost immediately after, there's nothing. You sit there for 10, 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
I swear it was tapping. I swear.
Finally, it begins tapping back.
See, told you.
Wayland?
Pause for a second. Father?
Go away.
Wow, toxic.
Dad?
You shouldn't be here.
The only thing keeping him from throwing the rock right now is that he can't hear whatever else Bazel would say if he threw it. And completely stunned reaction. And you know when you have to text someone and there are about 30 different things that you want your thumbs to get out first, and you don't know which one to do, and about 90% of those are fuck you, go fuck yourself, oh my fucking god. He's going through that and just like can't type anything. It starts to like, I guess you can't like type and then delete with a Rocky Talkie, which it would be the equivalent to that. So it'd be like, it's been, no, stop. Like I'm already, no, stop.
It's not safe.
No, stop. Where are you?
It seems you found out.
All right. And Wayland taps out. Well, he can't really detect a lie over tapping. We're booked on a boat tomorrow evening. Could I see you before then?
There's a long pause. I'll be in my shop tomorrow, which it seems you've already found.
Wayland just, not even a proper goodbye, just as the equivalent of signing off. Puts the rock back in his case. Looks back at Davið and goes, "Fucker's gonna run. We should go back there now."
All right, everybody get up.
As I assume you're actually yelling, because that would be in character.
Everybody get up. It's time to kill.
I feel like Davið is the kind of person that doesn't even need to actually yell. He can just kind of boom without yelling,
Yeah, but my point is that I'm pretty sure you've also woken up folks down the hall a little bit.
Yeah.
Indoor voice isn't really a thing, I expect.
It's either like stealth voice, I'm hunting someone, and it's really, really quiet, or not that at all. Yeah.
Yeah. David's 2 settings are 1 or 11, and there's nothing in between.
Exactly.
Well, Aster, I presume that this also rocks you out of your sleep.
I suppose so, if it's very loud.
As it does so, you have this brief, fleeting memory of a white room and a voice just disappearing off into the background of your mental noise, fading just as quickly as you wake.
Always happening lately.
Wayland is bouncing around trying to get his boots on, checking his pockets, getting his goggles on, tapping Rez, going, come on, let's go.
Fine. Are you sure he's gonna run? Doesn't he need all that stuff you took?
Didn't say anything about it, but look, he told me to leave, which, putting that aside, not happy about that, but
if he runs, he knows you'll just follow him, probably into worse danger than his little hovel.
all of that is a good argument to go there now.
Fine, we can go. But he's not gonna run, because then he knows that you're gonna... Rez comes up short, his brain not quite being able to work through it all. Fine. Can Mr. Pushka carry me?
I mean, yes, he could. But as we're getting dressed, I'm like, look, he told me to go away. He told me it's too dangerous and he doesn't want me here. He hasn't talked to me for a year. And when I said, can I see you tomorrow, he said he'd be in his shop. I got no faith that he's actually going to be there.
All right. I'm sold.
Right. But now he thinks, well, I'm going to wait, which means he's not going to run tonight, so we've got our best chance if we go right now.
Don't you think he knows you better than that?
Honestly, I really don't.
Okay. All right, let's go. I'm up.
If he knew me better than that, he wouldn't have waited an entire fucking year to communicate with me. Yeah. Wailing, is doing the whole, like, when you wake up late for your flight and you're running around your hotel room making sure you got everything, you got that, panic that you will leave something behind, which apparently maybe I'm the only person that happens to. And he's looking at over everything, making sure, like, got my goggles, got my gauntlet, got my... And reaches over. Crossbow, right? Don't want to leave that. And holds it for a second, looks at Davið, and goes, all right, there's a more than unreasonable chance that I'm going to want to shoot my dad. Can you hold on to this? And I hand him my crossbow.
With pleasure.
Thank you. And I look back like, that's probably about as mature as I'm going to get today. So, we should get Aster. And I go for the door.
Out of character, does coffee exist in this world? Not saying here. Does it exist in the world at all?
Yeah.
All right. I say to Wayland, next time we're somewhere and there's somebody trading coffee, you owe me one.
That is definitely a write-off.
So you all swing by Aster's room, which... I don't know, Aster, do you think your room is, like, right next door, or do you think it's, like, down the hall?
I would say it's probably next door.
So you've probably heard a bunch of this conversation. I think they probably could have been a lot quieter. Particularly Wayland and Davід.
I say that's fair.
I think Aster is then probably packed and ready to go.
Wayland is relieved to see that Aster is as much of a professional as they seem. And, like, Wayland's like, offers a real half-hearted, like, I'm really sorry. You heard the bit about the message. This is our best chance.
We're out here for a reason. I'm not on vacation. If I were, this isn't where I'd be.
Aster just went up, like, several notches in Wayland's book. Like, all right, yeah, okay. Let's go for it.
All right. Where are you going?
Would probably go directly there, but as we approach it, Wayland would take his night vision goggles, snap them down, and getting just a little bit suspicious.
As you wander over to the hovel, open up the bed hole here inside, you look down into it before hopping in, and it seems empty. Things are a little bit more put together in some ways, but in others not. You notice, just glancing in, that a few of the tinctures have been rearranged. Poke your head out, and maybe 20 yards away, you see, with your night vision goggles, someone watching you behind a outcropping of rubble. Before he darts back behind it, he notices that you've seen them.
Is the rubble in the direction of the rest of the ruins and the town, or the direction of the wall?
It's in the direction of the wall and the forest.
I just shout, he's rabbiting! And go after this guy, really hoping that it's my dad at this point. Now Wayland's just like, I got everybody out of bed, we came all the way over here, and I'm gonna look like a complete asshole if this doesn't pan out. So he's letting it ride. He's rolling again and sure that this person is dead.
You chase after this man. You can see him tall, kind of gangly. Seems to be slightly hunched under a pack of sticks and ragged linen. He's got clothes that can't really see them very clearly, but what you can see is that they're just kind of ragged about him. And caught within the clothes are bits of brambles. And that's where we're going to call it for the week.
Okay.
The Children of Ash is Jesse as Wayland Thrupp, Peter as Davið Davidsson, Valentine as Rez Orr, Juliet as Aster Morestes, and myself, Dylan, as your storyteller. This episode features sound design by Tabletop Audio, and our intro and outro themes were composed and performed by Fester Spunk. If you aren't already, come support us on Patreon or Ko-Fi. We would love it if you bought us a coffee, something to sip on during those cold nights along the Northern Run. Patrons get early access to episodes, a special title on the Discord server, and they help us pay for equipment and other things that provide you, the listener, with a better experience. You can also purchase early access to episodes as they come out, so you never have to wait any longer than anyone else. Finally, join us on our Discord server for sneak peeks, to chat with the cast and community, or to hang as we live edit episodes almost every other night. Links to Discord, Patreon, Ko-Fi, and our website can be found in the episode description. As always, we love you all so much. We'll see you down the line. Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that I didn't find a way to work in another dirty pun at the end, but
I was really happy that you did the whole string in the door thing with the bed, because I was like, okay, so if for whatever reason he doesn't contact or he doesn't reach you because either nobody wakes up or Davið doesn't wake you up because he doesn't know what it is, or, whatever it is, like at least you'll know that someone came in there.
I was a little bit hoping, that Davið would pick up the rock and go, stupid buzzing rock, and just toss it across the room so he can go back to bed.
I was convinced for a bit that that's what you were going to do, Peter.
Oh, almost. Maybe.
I am a little surprised also that like Wayland's didn't stop to check the bed, like whether that had been tripped. But I'm realizing now, looking back to it, maybe I didn't give the opportunity, but maybe I just took that agency away from you.
Well, he got the note, and that was inside.
He was inside, yeah. I mean, he had to get his walkie-talkie, so he'd had to go in through the mattress anyway.
Unless he has another way in.
That is true. Which, now he does. He's like, yeah, there's a back door. Underneath the other cot, there's another entrance.
There's a back door into your dad's hole. Sorry.
I was just imagining an endless series of rooms and cots blocking, hiding, the clear passageway to the next room and the next cot.
It's just rotting cots all the way down.